In this video, now we are going to learn types of lyric, and that is elegy. The elegy introduction. The elegy originated in ancient Greece, and the term is derived from the Greek word elegia, which means lament. According to the Greeks, poetry written in elegiac measure was called elegy. For the Greeks, the poem was more important and not the subject matter. In modern times, the Greek conception of elegy has changed. Now, the theme is more important than the poem. It is a mournful poem and is written as a tribute to something or someone. It presents lamentation for the dead. It expresses a sense of loss. The poet also reflects on various subjects, especially death. Usually, the elegy begins with a sense of grief, and towards the end of the poem, the poet accepts his loss and expresses his faith in immortality. Now, we are going to learn about elegy in a form of question, and the question is: write a detailed note on the elegy as a literary poem. Origin. The elegy originated in ancient Greece. The term is derived from the Greek word elegia, which means lament. It covered war songs, love poems, political verses, lamentations for the dead, and a wide range of subjects. Originally, the term elegy was applied to any poem written in a special metrical form. The Greeks judged it by its form and not by its subject matter. It was written in the elegiac measure, and any poem written in his meter was called an elegy. Modern connotation. The old Greek conception of the elegy has changed in modern times. Now, the theme matters more rather than the poem. In modern times, the theme of an elegy must be mournful or sadly reflective. It is usually a lamentation for the dead. It is written as a tribute to something lived and lost, writes B. Prasad. Even when it deals with a subject other than death, such as unrequited love, it is always serious and melancholy in tone. In the writing of an elegy, the English poet is free to choose his poem. Features of the elegy. First one, features. The elegy expresses a sense of loss. It affects the feelings of dignity and solemnity by its tenderness of thought and artistic melancholy. Gray's elegy, written in a country churchyard, is a magnificent elegy having a sensation of grief and delicacy of thought. Second one, feature. The elegy allows a poet to reflect on various subjects. Death is one such subject which leads the poet to think about many ideas. Milton's Lycidas is an elegy on the death of his learned friend Edward King. He laments the degradation of poetry and religion in the poem. Tennyson's In Memoriam is an elegy on the death of his friend Arthur Hallam. Here, the poet expresses his philosophy on the puzzles of life and destiny. Matthew Arnold's elegy, Rugby Chapel, is on his visit to his father's grave 15 years after his death. The poet reflects on the life of man on the earth in his poem. Third one, feature. Grief is a major emotion in the early part of the elegy. Towards the end, the note changes to one of resignation or joy as the poet accepts the fact and expresses his faith in immortality and future reunion. Fourth one feature, the elegy may treat of any subject, but the treatment is with reference to the poet himself. It usually describes the poet's regret for the past or his hope for the future. This makes the elegy a personal account of the poet's feelings. Shelley's Adonais is written in memory of Keats. The Pastoral Elegy. This poem originated among the Sicilian Greeks. It was perfected by the Latin poet Virgil. It was revived in Italy during the 15th and 16th centuries. Spenser's Shepherd's Calendar planted its roots in English. In this type of elegy, the poet represented himself as a shepherd expressing sadness over the loss of a companion. The speech and the setting were borrowed from rustic life. Milton's Lycidas and Matthew Arnold's Tharsis. Conclusion. The elegy is a poetic expression of sorrow. It is a lament. Sometimes philosophic and speculative elements become predominant in it. Thank you very much for watching and listening my video.